Hey there, friends and enemies, JoPa here again, and today I want to talk about whether or not Synthoceps needs a nerf or rework in Destiny 2 because it is by far the most dominant Titan exotic in the game for PvE right now. It's not particularly close. Now, I did a tier list video for all the exotics currently in Season 22 for the Titan, and it was shocking how much better Synthoceps is than every other option we have in the game right now. For the Bonk Hammer build or the Strand Titan build, those two are absolutely dominant in the game right now, and you can take on pretty much any type of content, and they make it pretty much easy mode. I just want them to be not really as powerful as they are. I know a lot of people don't like PvE nerfs in Destiny 2 or any other video game for that matter, but I largely disagree. I think if something is an outlier, if it's so strong that everybody feels like you have to run it in certain content, it definitely needs a nerf. However, to offset that nerf, you need a bunch of buffs to make other things fun, viable, and worthwhile in endgame content. And that's really what we're lacking right now, and it's something that I hope changes going into Season 23. Bungie has already announced that we are getting changes and reworks heading into next season, and it's really their last major chance to improve things before we head into the final shape. And when we go into the legendary campaign of the final shape, when we head into the brand new raid that's coming with the final shape, I would love for there to be a ton of viable options, a bunch of different builds that we can use to mix and match. So I would prefer if I could change up my build every single mission, every single thing that I'm tackling in the game, every week, every month, whatever the case may be. I just want change. I want there to be a variety of options. And right now we don't have that because the game is just so easy on the Synthoceps Titan that it overlooks everything else in the game, in my opinion. And people are going to say, don't use it if you don't like it. And that's not the point. I want other options to be really good in different situations. And I think a game like Destiny 2 shines when every build is useful in certain situations, but doesn't overshadow everything else across all types of content. And so that's what I would like to see with Synthoceps. If that's going to get a nerf or a rework heading into Season 23, then I would like to see things that have never been viable, like MK Standicides, like Mask of the Quiet One, like Arbor Warden. Make them, Kepri's Horn, make them viable somehow. Make them shine in some way, shape, or form. And if they're able to do that, then I don't think people are going to mind the Synthoceps nerf as much because there's going to be a lot of things to play around with. You're still going to be able to make a fun build with, say, Worm God Caress, if they can do that and make that be the melee-focused exotic that you can use and just change up the way you play a little bit in order to make that viable instead of Synthoceps. Now at least we have different options. And I don't think Synthoceps necessarily need to be nerfed in the ground. I would like them to still be good, hopefully. If not right away, say they do nerf it quite a bit and then bring it up at a later date, that could also be a good option. But overall in PvE, I'm feeling like Titans are stagnated compared to the other classes. I've seen Hunters and Warlocks have a variety of options. Their reworks in this Season 22, Season of the Witch, I thought were better done than the Titan exotics as far as overall not only power but versatility. I think Hunters and Warlocks both have a lot more options to tackle endgame and to tackle different types of content compared to Titans, especially when you look across every single subclass in the game: Stasis, Strand, Void, Arc, and Solar. Not all of those are going to have really good options for the Titan, in my opinion. Now, a couple things are changing next season. As I said, Bungie has already announced they're going to be doing some buffs and reworks for a bunch of exotics, so hopefully those come into play and are really, really good. Not only that, we know the artifact mods are changing, so we'll have different artifact mods in not only the Season 23, but also different ones heading into the final shape. The final shape is getting new supers, But as far as artifact mods go, I know we're going to see a lot with Stasis next season, and I really believe that for the Titans specifically, we're going to see some really dominant exotics and really fun to use exotics with Stasis, as long as those artifact mods are really good as I'm expecting them to be. Now, are they going to fit everyone's playstyle? That I don't know. But overall, I'm excited about that at the very least, because it's been far too long since I've been able to really dabble with Stasis Titan in PvE. They haven't been really as good as I would want to, outside of some bugginess that made them funny to use against certain bosses, but really not good to use overall. So that's going to be interesting. We should get new exotics next season as well. That hopefully those are powerful, not only for the Titan, but every class. Because I know the new one, like Pyrogale, was really good this season, but it was glitched at first, and now it's good, but not great. And I want the standalone supers like Pyrogale, like Curious with a Thunder Crash. I want those to be really good again, so that way they are a viable option. But overall, yeah, I think I've kind of been rambling just a little bit, but that's because I really just want a lot of fun stuff to be viable, to be good across every type of content in the game, and having that variety, having different things to mix and match, in my opinion, would be the way forward for not only Destiny 2, for Titans, but you just look at some of the other options we have with, like I said, the Warlocks and the Hunters, and it's definitely doable, and it's something that I'm really, really hopeful for, because I would love to see some of the most underutilized exotics in the game get some love. And if they do show some love to those and they make them really, really good, I think people will forget about it or not really be as concerned with a Synthoceps nerf that I do think needs to happen eventually. Whether it happens with Season 23 at the start of it, whether it happens in the mid-season patch or heading into the final shape, I do think a Synthoceps nerf is on the way. A rework is on the way. And if either of those do happen, I just think Bungie can avoid a headache and people getting frustrated with the rework if some other weapons are, or exotics, apologies, are really, really good. And that's something that we're going to have to wait and see. I'm really hopeful. I'm looking forward to what they do with those changes for sure. I think with some positive adjustments, we could see the best meta ever for Titan exotics, and we just need some of the outliers to be adjusted. And if they do that, then I would be very, very excited. I am looking forward to seeing what they bring to us, because I think Season 23 is going to be massive for the game heading into the final shape, if I had to guess. So I'm really looking forward to that as well, and hopefully we have a lot of variety to play with in the Titan sandbox. Anyway, my name is Jopa. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Helps me out tremendously, shows you want to see more Destiny 2 content. I know we're in a little bit of a slow period right now, but I know things are going to pick up heading into Season 23, and I cannot wait. My name is Jopa. Like I said, have a good one, and I'll catch you all later.